Not that that matters right now or that you're comparing yourself simply to New York, but in terms of, a great World Series, I think we're in store for one. Best 2 out of 3 now.
Can they get greedy though, Hayes? Like that's the goal now. Get greedy.
Yeah.
Like you're bringing it back to Toronto. Can you get greedy with a chance to win it on Friday night in T-Dot? Like, I don't know. Can you get to Snell with that banged up lineup, man?
I think they can. I mean, doing it twice in a series is not easy.
No,
how good
Snell
he is.
wasn't very good.
They got to him in game one. They got to him in game one. They're going to line up they're going to have their lineup, and Springer's not here, and that's a big miss. And he wasn't there last night. And you guys can speak to it. They know if he's playing or not, right?
Oh, yeah,
Schneider's going to say publicly, play the game. We'll see. He's hour to hour. The players know if he's done, and I would guess they think he's done, but we'll see.
It didn't look good. Just to, if it's the knee injury, you can limp it off and all that. Like to swing the bat, like that takes a different types of. If it's an oblique injury or whatever it is, like you could tell he was immediately in discomfort. So I don't know. I don't think he comes back. That's my person. Maybe he shows up with a heroic effort tonight. But, ultimately, I think Savage, if he puts a clinic on, then that's a statement for me.
Big time.
That's the difference.
Yes,
for me.
Big time. Then then you're going home up 3-2. You're guaranteed to come home, which I think is obviously significant. It's pretty amazing. And even if they lose tonight, I still think they have a real shot at winning the World Series. But if you win tonight, then you're coming home and you are flying high. And yes, Yamamoto will be waiting for you in Game 6, and that is not going to be fun, or that's not going to be easy,
dude.
But you got to worry about tonight before you worry about anything else.
Exactly.
And get after Snell, and you hope you get a start out of your Savage, right? He's hitting the road for the first time. This isn't something he's used to, man. Game 5, like a decisive Game 5 Dodger Stadium World Series. I guess there's no reason to believe like the nerves will kick in now because they haven't kicked in yet, but this is a completely different beast for him.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that big. Like when you got a kid that's just a stud like that going out there, Hayes, and doing what he's doing, I hate the injuries, man, because it just makes you look back, and it's not a loser mentality, but you think about what Bichette is at right now and Springer, you just think, man, if everybody's healthy and dialed in right now, I just don't want to look back on the series with that loser mentality if something bad goes on and you're like, man, if we were just healthy, that they would have had a better chance. I don't know. I know it's a war of attrition and it's a long playoffs, but just seeing the guys banged up like that, it sucks for them because they need everybody on board, man.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
Well, I mean,
last night it was all good.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
It's a one-off, and you still got to get 2 more, but last night it worked out.
Well, exactly. You needed that. You needed that. You couldn't go down 3-1. You needed it
must
to make
win
it
last
2-2.
night.
It was a must-win. In the sake of must-wins, it was. But they get it done, convincing win. Vladdy, good storyline. Like to me, Clement is an interesting one for me because this guy is been so steady and so consistent. And he's not he's a household name here now, but he wasn't a household name 6 months ago. Like that's people knew of him and that, but it just, I'm so happy for him because that's the definition of an unsung hero.
Big time for a whole season. You're right. Changes his whole life, his whole career.
Right.
We'd have to look up his contractual situation, but he's not making a lot of money.
1.9.
Yeah, and he hasn't been making money, throughout his career, and it makes you wonder. I don't know what the options are. I don't know what his contract is like, but he's going to get paid now, and he's going to be in the major leagues now for a while, right? Like if it's not in Toronto, which it will be, but if it's not, someone else will say, "I'll take it," or "I'll take Ernie for a few years," right? Like he's shown so much this year, and he can defend. He can move him all over the park. He's played everywhere. He's played right field, second base, third base.
Ultimate utility guy.
Ultimate utility guy. And that 7th inning, man, that's what they do. They sent 9 guys up to the plate. It starts with Varsho into Clement, into Jimenez, into France. They walk Vladdy, and then Bichette has the biggest hit of his career. And it just rolls over and rolls over and rolls over. And, it was an incredible outing considering what happened the night before. Like it really it was on a platter for them to kind of fall flat. Maybe we can't catch up with these guys. Maybe it's just not going to break our way. We lose in the 18th inning. Yeah. It broke their way last night because they decided it's going to break our way. And that's the sign of resilience and the sign of a team with character and winning habits. We can use every cliche in the book, but in the end, it's 2-2 in the World Series.
One of the ballsiest wins in Toronto sports, man.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, got to be. I don't know what a
Absolutely.
top 5 list was because there's such a long list of playoff runs, and it's obviously a long time in history. But one of the ballsiest, like you said, the way things went in 18 innings, it would have been. I told you guys about my experience where you lose that triple overtime game and you're just out of gas, and the other team's got the mojo, and to show up and get it done, it's just so impressive. Like I said, everybody in Toronto is in love with these guys. You just watch CP24 and people talking about them. They're just, and it's not about like the flashy stuff. They're just like, these guys got jam. They're blue-collar dudes, and they just find a way to get it done. Mm-hmm. And everybody in the city is in love with them, and they deserve it.
Deserve all the love in the world. You're right. I mean, 100% approval rate across the board. And that is rare and uncharted territory. But they deserve it. So we got Game 5 of the World Series tonight. Steve Phillips on that a little bit later this hour. Again, the frozen frenzy was going on yesterday. Everyone's so jacked up for that. 60 games,
man.
What about on a Tuesday during the World Series, the frozen frenzy?
It just fell flat personally for me. I watched the Leaf game, and then it was all Jays all the time. I was not flipping around to watch the 7 hockey games that were still on or whatever it was. But it's more for the States. It's an ESPN creation.
Yeah. It's
Credit
a cool
to them.
idea. It's a cool idea,
sure,
but I don't
why
understand why it doesn't, like Thursday or a Saturday or something. I don't know. It just seems like this big thing for the NHL, and you're doing it on a Tuesday during the World Series. And obviously they couldn't predict that the Jays were going to be in it, but it doesn't matter. Everybody watches the World Series.
Yeah, it's staggered starts too. It was a bit weird. Like we started at like 7:53, so it was just you're watching. I was watching the Leaf game, and that was an early start, obviously with the Jays and all of that. So that one was a weird one because I was on Central Time, but you're like, the Leafs are starting. Was it a 6 o'clock local start? So
6 Eastern.
6:12 they dropped the puck, and so there was just a lot of moving parts. But they won. It's weird. Calgary is not a very good team, and Calgary was handing pucks away, and you're trying to decipher if it was the Leafs forecheck or was just really poor play by Calgary.
That's my point, Noodles.
You said the Leafs. I didn't think the Leafs looked that good.
I thought they were okay. I thought they were good.
I heard some people talking today, like, man, the Leafs were dialed in last night, and I was like, I did that game. I just don't know if I saw a team that was like really dialed in.
I just thought that Calgary was that bad, but
look
the
at
Leafs
Calgary
took
on this overtime winning goal. Like, that was an absolute circus. I have no idea what the hell they were
But what are
doing.
the Leafs supposed to do? Not accept
I know.
turnovers
they'll
and score?
take it, but it lost in all of that. Domi and Nice ran into each other. It was a clown car in that whole play. And then it was like, Uyghur, he's got it on the forehand, and he decides, I'm going to take it to the backhand and loose. Now, 2 really good plays on that. Tavares hunts that puck down and helps turn that puck over. Same thing with the Backlund turnover on the Nice first goal. Like, those are good plays, but they're really brain-dead plays by Flames veteran players. So you're going, is it the chicken or the egg? That was the thing. I was like, those are bad plays by pretty good players on the Flames, but good on the Leafs for taking advantage of them. So I wasn't sure if it was like the forecheck of the Leafs or just how poor the Flames were. Put it that way. Because, like, that game-winning goal by Max, he literally runs into Nice. They run into each other, and Uyghur bumbles it to Tavares. So I don't think that was, like, a planned thing. It was like,
No,
okay,
I
we'll
don't
take
think
that puck and go score. Like,
off a whiteboard on a
Hey, bottom line is Leafs
won.
needed some depth scoring, and Max got 2 goals.
Yeah, they got it.
And Nyes, I thought, contributed. I guess that's where I'm coming from. Like, I think deservedly so, been tough on the Leafs. They haven't played great.
Yeah.
And last night I thought they capitalized when they had to. Yes, it was a tight scoring, I guess a close game in the end, 4-3, and they were chasing it. They were down 1-0 after 20. But, yes, Calgary is really struggling. You can't sugarcoat it. It's a real – they're in a really bad place. Really bad place.
This play, it was a good play, but Backlund is a veteran. He's going uphill and then decides to turn back. You're like, oh, my God, what's
Crazy.
going on there?
But, again, I think savvy by – Willie and a beautiful play by Nyes. So, I don't know. I'm not going to hammer the Leafs and say they should have won 10-1 to prove something. They're 5-4-1. They play again tonight. They got the job done. You had to beat Calgary. And they did it.
They
you
did,
know,
yeah.
and listen, their whole division basically won last night outside of Ottawa, you know, but everyone else is the whole thing is tight. Like Montreal wins again last night. Detroit wins last night. But everyone else has the same record. It's 9, 10, 11 points through 10 games.
It's great. It's
Everyone's
tight. That's
the
why
same, more or less.
That's why you have to take care of your own. And you got to find ways to get points every night. They haven't played a team in the playoffs until I think it's November 9th. It's going to be Carolina. I mean, you know, they've got to find a way against Columbus to get points tonight. Like, you got to look at it. You got to chip away and just take care of your own, regardless of how you do it. Let
me ask you guys this, Jamie.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you could pick 2 teams on January 1 that you would guess would be separators from the division and move away from the pack, who would the 2 teams be? Hayes, who would your 2 teams be that would separate in the Atlantic Division?
Like, as of now, you'd say Montreal, but I can't see us. I don't think I'm comfortable saying it's a separator from Montreal. Like,
you don't think Montreal's good enough this year where they could kind of be like the Tampa Bay of the past?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, separator's like 112, 114 points. You know, are on pace for it.
I'm not saying 114 points right
that's
now.
What it
but
is.
No, I think
like
the
a separator is at
would be-
104 points.
It might be 108, though, Brian. I think a lot of these teams are going to end up with something in the 90s. So maybe 105, 106, 107, 8 type of thing.
So it's
Let's
relative.
just get to January 1st. A couple teams that might pull away from the pack. Let's not go with 104.
I got one. Tampa. Tampa's had a poor start.
I don't see Tampa.
Whoa.
I don't see
Tampa's
Tampa.
the best team in the Atlantic on paper. Not even close. Hands down.
Hands down the best team on paper?
Best team on paper, yes.
Based on
goaltending, defense, and forwards.
That's where
Jonas was not fond of Vasilevsky again
Jonas,
yesterday.
like I say, Jonas couldn't find his ass.
Hasn't been good so far, Vasilevsky.
When it comes to goaltending, Jonas, if he placed his hand in his back pocket, he still couldn't find his ass when it comes to goaltending.
Don't pull a Griff. Don't pull a Griff and start taking shots at people.
I am very confident in my ability to assess goaltending.
I would probably lean towards your assessment over Jonas's as well.
Yes.
But a fair assessment thus far is Vasilevsky has not been on top of his game. I think that has to be a fair assessment.
Tampa's won 3 in a row. Did you watch him play the other night?
I won last night. I wasn't watching their play.
No, I didn't watch Anaheim. No, I watched 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago when they played. Vasilevsky was unbelievable. They won 2-1. He was
okay.
I'm very, very comfortable.
You're bullish
saying
on
that
Tampa.
I'm very bullish on
I think it's
Tampa.
extreme. I will challenge you on the idea that they're far and away the best team on paper. Like
six players in the TSN
what does
top
that mean?
50.
What does that mean?
Well, you voted for it, aren't you? Did you
I
vote?
don't know if I had 60. I don't know if I had 6 guys. I'd have to go back and look. I don't think I did. I probably had Vasilevsky. I know I had him. Point,
Hedman.
Kucherov,
Gensel.
Hagel.
Hagel, no Gensel.
I might add Gensel.
Oh, but that's 6.
I'd have to go look back. But I probably had 5 or 6 Florida players too, right? I mean, I'm sure I had 4 or 5 minimum. I hear you, but but those guys were on the team last year, Noodles. And what happened? Didn't mean anything. The Leafs won the division, and Florida spanked them in the first round.
But the Leafs are a lesser team this year than
because
Tampa
one guy's off the top
paper.
50 list that's not on their team.
Well, it happens to be a pretty darn good player.
He's a great player.
Like, it's not like they lost,
He's a great player.
He's
a top 20
liner.
player.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the fact that they lost him. It's not really replacing him.
And their D are older and slower. That's the problem I have with the Leafs.
Agreed.
And the goaltending has come back down to earth. That's the problem that I have. Everything that hit last year hasn't been hitting yet. Like I say, I believe the separating team is Tampa. That's my opinion, though.
You're entitled to that. I'm not even necessarily disagreeing that they have the possibility to do it. Just they have not had a good start.
No.
And they're older too. Like, Hedman's not a young guy. He's still a great player. He's still a great player. And Vasilevsky, I thought, what was he, the second best goalie in the league last year? He was on my top 50.
He was top, yeah.
I had him on my top 50. But that's not an exact science, and it doesn't guarantee anything.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to make a point. As on paper, I'm very comfortable with them.
Okay.
They haven't played well yet, and I'm not going to disagree with that. They're a 500 team right now, just like everybody else. But
I don't know if there is a separator. I guess that's what I'm getting to.
Okay, that's
I'm just going to go
I don't
from
know
my
if there is.
intel. I think it's the Montreal Canadiens.
Really? You think everything's just fallen? I mean, they've had such a great start, and they're a talented team. But is there any chance that there is a market reset with Montreal? Like Dobish is 6-0. Do you think that their rookie goaltender is going to end up 42-0 this year?
No, they're going to fall back on Montembeault, and he's probably going to take
Montembeault's
back.
a good goaltender. He's not had a great start.
I think, he hasn't had a great start. And if Dobish stumbles, he's going to be right there to get his job back, I think. I don't know. They just got a fresh vibe to him. And obviously right now with Cole Caulfield seemingly doing this every night, scoring in overtime.
Unreal. Damoda's been really good, too.
Yeah, that Cole Caulfield, when I watched that guy play in the World Juniors, I said to myself, his jersey was so big, I was just like, there's no way in hell this guy's playing in the NHL. Like, no way in hell. He looks so small.
Tiny,
and he is so good. It's crazy how good that guy is. His speed and his shot.
Do you think he's on the American team?
I think they're stupid.
That would be.
He didn't make it in the Four Nations.
No.
Dude, I don't even think he got a sniff, to be quite honest with you. I think Billy Guerin wants big, strong, and, I mean, who did they scratch in the gold medal game?
Nelson,
Kyle Connor,
Kyle
I think.
Connor. Like if
Kyle Connor was scratched in the gold medal game, I think.
But if you put Brock Nelson on this team over Cole Caulfield, that's crazy. That's
crazy. That is crazy.
Was Nelson a winger, though, or did he play center? Like, that's the only difference.
I think he might have been.
Who cares?
Maybe he was playing fourth-line center. I don't recall exactly where he played.
I mean, it's positional. Oh, that's the thing. If you want Nelson, a tall, like, long, strong centerman, then Caulfield doesn't even fall into that conversation, right? You're looking at a winger. I think Caulfield has to be in the conversation. He's been unbelievable. But you're right. Like, everything this guy touches seems to find the back of the net. I was watching that game. Montreal tried to give it back. It was 3 Cobb, and then Seattle scored 3 really quick ones. Montour was involved in all of them. And then Caulfield said, we're going to take it home here in overtime. He's been unbelievable. I think this Montreal team, I think they're for real, but I don't know how real. Oh, that would be my assessment.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Well, again, we're getting hung up, and I am on like the word separator. Like separator again indicates, like I said, 112, 1-4. Like that's Boston a few years ago, which was extreme.
Well, that is extreme. I'm just talking about not dealing with the bungled up kind of middle of the pack and everything jockeying positions on a week-to-week basis.
I guess,
and it's fair to say if you think everyone's going to be in that position the whole year, like all year long.
The thing is, I don't, because I don't trust Boston on the other end. Buffalo's been better. I still don't think they're going to be truly in the mix. I think Buffalo and Boston probably fall back, and then everyone else is kind of in it. So that's kind of how I would see it. Does Detroit
come back down to earth? Does Florida wake up? Like,
it's kind of a weird time, guys, in the season because everybody is saying right now, I just don't know about them. I don't believe in them. I'm not sure about them. But then come American Thanksgiving, which is not that far away, everyone's like, well, it's been, since the beginning of time when American Thanksgiving, that's what you are and you rarely change, which is kind of true. Not a lot of teams change what they are after American Thanksgiving.
You're right.
You want to go to the St. Louis Blues a few years ago when they won the Cup in 19? They were the worst team in the league in January 1st, and they turned it around. Other than that, there's not a ton.
Which is still about another 10 games, though. So you will get that. We might see a correction. Here's the question I have for both of you, because we're talking Atlantic. The one that I not say that I can't figure out, but I want to see where they go, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Are you a believer or not a believer?
No. I am.
Okay.
I am.
Well,
what do you want to put on the line?
I got a 500 that Pitt's for real.
Done.
Dude, they're good, man.
Define real. Playoff team or like
has
trading
to be playoffs. You can't be real and finish 10th in the East.
Okay, but my thing is, Kyle Dubas, it seemed like that team was open for business. It seemed like everybody was available. We had our chats. Is Sid going to ask for a trade? All of that. This team is 7-2-2. And
for real.
And their goaltending's been really good. Yep. Erik Karlsson looks like Erik Karlsson, not Rick Carlson that got there. They've been relatively healthy. Raquel's injured, which is a 6 to 8 week injury, which is interesting because his name was always being bandied about as a potential trade to the Edmontons, the Torontos, all of the teams that are coveting top 6 forwards. Brian Rust is another guy that people have interest in. is Kyle going to stay the course if the team continues on, or are they going to trade and still stick with the plan coming into the season? Because we all thought, and not that we're experts, but we all believed that Pittsburgh was going to be a bottom-of-the-barrel team. They were the only team that was basically every player was for sale outside of Sid. And now Gino's turned back the clock. You've got players playing well.
Brazo's been good. Mantha's been good. They've got vets. They got some size.
But
Good Friday segment for the NHL. Good Friday segment. Halloween and who's a ghost or who's a goblin or something like that.
Yeah.
Who's for real?
All right.
And who's got a costume on?
Trick or treat.
Yes, that's a really good one. Because there's
who's
that's
tricking
the one,
and who's treating.
That's the one
who's
I think.
tricking and who is treating?
Right on a platter for us.
Yes.
Because the Atlantic, I think
we
there's
do
a
it
bunch
every year.
a bunch of good teams in the Atlantic. They've just got to figure out their game. The Leafs included. They got to have. Leafs are a good team. They just got to get consistency. That's really what it is. They're not there yet. Austin isn't there yet. Willie isn't consistent enough. To me,
Austin is not really that close in my eyes.
Well, that's what I
don't know what
not
you guys
there
see.
yet. Not there yet.
Yeah, he is not. It doesn't seem like he's overly, dangerous right now or that close to breaking out. And I don't think we.
Now you're going
Matthews needs to
watch.
hear
He puts up
music.
3 tonight.
That'd be great. He does. I think he likes Columbus. I'm still waiting for it to happen. But
you know who's hearing the Mike Myers music is that Coronado from Calgary. He was scratched the game before, signed a massive ticket, and he did not have a fun night last night.
So is it him or is it Craig Conroy who's hearing this?
No,
I don't know, but I think he's
contract?
going to be scratched again in Ottawa. That's where it was heading from the skate today, so that's tough sledding for him.
They had the Parek and Coronado as potential healthy scratches for tomorrow against Ottawa.
$7 million ticket.
That's what I'm saying. That's fully guaranteed. Fully guaranteed.
He's a good young player. These kids are just not. You look at that team. Who's a superstar on that team? I got one for you, and I think it's the goalie who's gonna be a star player.
Wolf has the potential to do that. Yeah. But you're right. Other than that, it's just a bunch of good players, good veterans. But there's
nice
not
veteran.
a lot of.
And Kadri, I didn't think had himself.
He hasn't had a great start.
Banner night.
It hasn't. Everything's gone against them, man. It's
weird how a team could go from so good and having so much positive mojo last year to everything just falling flat. That is weird.
Yeah.
To be that far off, man. To be the worst team in the league. That's concerning.
It's a big flip. Big flip.
We'll get to some hockey later. I got to fill you in on Bedard. Got a chance to lay eyes on this kid.
He looked good last night, eh?
Starting to come around, man. He's good.
Well, him and Celebrini, right?
Yeah.
Celebrini's a rock star right now. Yeah. All right, so we'll get to that a little bit later this afternoon. Johnny coming up. We got Steve Phillips on Game 5 of the World Series. What does he expect out of the pitching matchup? What does he expect the lineup to look like tonight? Again, George Springer not expected to be in it, so we'll catch up with Steve, get his take on last night, tee up tonight. We'll do that next.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Just watch me dance.
Overdrive continues, brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Mike Johnson in about a half an hour leaves Columbus tonight. 16 games in the NHL last night, 1 tonight. Pretty sure the Leafs are the only team playing.
Yeah, they are.
So it's all Leafs, all Jays, right? You got Leafs Columbus, I guess, overlapping with Jays Dodgers tonight. I have a feeling I know where the majority of people are going to be tuning into tonight, and that would be Game 5 of the World Series. And it would be such a different vibe if the Dodgers found a way to win that game last night. But it's not, because they didn't. The Jays found a way to pull it out, and it's tied 2-2. Now it's a best 2 out of 3. Home field advantage swings back to the Blue Jays. Trey Savage, Blake Snell tonight. Here's Steve Phillips. Steve, how would you describe that win by the Blue Jays last night?
Well, absolutely gutsy effort on their part. And, once again, they show tremendous resiliency. When you think that, you're not going to come back from something, that this will be the thing that causes them to lose the series, they bounced back. And I think it was important for, with Springer going out, for Vladdy to come up with the home run I think was critical. That it's Lucas who's took Springer's spot in the leadoff position, getting on base, and then Vladdy hitting the home run, because it sent a message that the most predictable player was playing predictably, and so we're still okay. Like, this is who we are, and we just put the next man up there getting the job done, and the at-bats came to life from there. And that seventh inning, breaking it open was huge. Bieber was terrific. I was worried about him early. He could command his fastball. He couldn't command the secondary pitches. I don't like those early walks. He walked Ohtani, then he walked Muncy in the second, but they were able to find a way to limit what the Dodgers did, and Mookie Betts' struggles continue. Ohtani didn't do much, and then the lineup just kept churning for the Blue Jays. So it was a big win for them. Now home field advantage back in their court, and series tied at 2.
Steve, what did you hear on Springer? Like, do you think he can possibly come back and play in this series, or do you think that's game over for him?
My sense of it is, when I've seen a lot of these obliques, and when a hitter swings and immediately calls out the trainer and then walks in the dugout and up the tunnel, that's one of those ones where he felt a pop. He felt something really give on him there, and so you can get injections to try to numb things. You got to get the right spot. But inevitably he'll swing and feel something, or he'll change the swing so as not to feel something. And the risk you run is that if he's going to DH, then Bichette's going to have to play second, which means that if Springer has an at-bat, or in his first at-bat, he takes a swing and feels that he comes out of the game, then you're already, digging in with somebody else leading off in your lineup, right? So somebody lesser is now in the leadoff spot in the lineup. And so I don't know how you put him in there and take the shot unless he's taking a full-blown batting practice. And I can't even imagine that he can do that. So I'll be surprised. I know they're saying hour to hour, day to day. But, my experience is that guys don't – this looked like a 6 to 8 week sort of oblique, not a little tweak that, you take a day and you come back and play.
With Steve Phillips, so we don't have the lineup yet for Game 5. We believe they'll go back to Schneider, Straw in the lineup with Snell on the mound. If Springer doesn't play, who bats leadoff for you tonight?
So, I would consider Bichette leading off myself. I don't want Bichette behind Vladdy. It came back again in Game 3 for them. When you make moves that you do it because you want somebody who can run a little bit better, but he doesn't hit the same. You want somebody who can defend a little bit better, but he doesn't swing the same. Then you end up with 3 guys in your lineup who are lesser offensive players, and they got caught in extra innings in Game 3 with that being the case. And so, I definitely don't want that behind Vladdy. So I might lead off Bichette in the game and go out there with some swag to start with. His at-bats have been pretty good. And that's where I would go. The Davis Schneider, there have been times when Davis Schneider looks really locked in. He works the count. He can take a walk. He can get on base. He doesn't look like that right now. And he's got a lot of swing and miss on the high-velocity fastball. And so I personally wouldn't mind seeing putting Bichette in that leadoff spot and then sort of going from there to Vladdy. There's nobody they're going to bring out of the bullpen that's going to make me think, oh, geez, I'm worried about that right-handed reliever facing, 2 righties in a row. Nobody they're bringing in scared me out of that bullpen other than Sasaki late, and his split's more served to the left-hander. So I would lead off Bichette. So I'm with you. I think it'll be very interesting to see what John Schneider does.
Steve, what are your expectations from the kid Yasavich? I think it's his first start on the road, is it not? Like, it's pretty big deal for the kid. What are your expectations?
So I expect him to be much better than he was in Game 1. It was a big ask, having him start Game 1. Yet I understood why they did it. But he got away from being who he is, and he hardly used his splitter at all in that game. He kept going fastball, slider, and I couldn't understand what are they doing. And his split is good enough to throw to right-handed batters. Gosman uses it to righties and lefties, and his is as good or better with a different release point. So I would really like to see him get back to being who he is. don't give in to the opposition because you think you need to be something different because they're, Ohtani and Betts and those guys. Forget that. Go be your best self, pitch your best game, and if they beat you that way, I can live with it. So I do look for him to be much better. I think that he'll make an adjustment. I think, and he's shown the ability to learn. I think he's got good people around him between Gausman and Scherzer and Bassett and guys like that, talking to him about himself and what he can do and how he can go about it. But I expect it to be much better in the game tonight.
Did you see this type of play from Ernie Clement? I mean, I was talking before you came on. I felt like he was like an unsung hero. Do you see it that way, or is there something different there?
Oh, he's definitely an unsung hero. I mean, but when you're an unsung hero, it's because we didn't expect it from you. And he's a good little ball player. There's no question about that. But, who hits 460 or 400 in the playoffs? Here's a guy that's been outrighted a couple times, signed a minor league deal to come in, and he's just finally figured it out. And, credit the organization for creating an environment where guys can figure it out. But he is such a solid player offensively and defensively. He does just about everything right. Quality at bats, an easy, natural swing, doesn't overdo it. And so I love him in the lineup. And I think about him and the contributions they've gotten, and from Nathan Lucas and Barger. And for me, I don't want Miles Straw in the lineup. I great guy, love him on my team, but I want Barger in the lineup. I understand that it's a lefty versus lefty matchup. I'll take my chances, even if he strikes out a couple times, that he might run into one and hit it out of the ballpark, where I don't think Straw's got the ability to impact the game in that way. In the playoffs, give me people that can hit it out of the yard. So I would love to see Barger in there. I don't want to see him coming out for defense. I don't want to see him coming out for base running. He's a guy for me that stays in the lineup. He's a regular for me now, and a guy that I would not in any way look for places to take him out because of a situation.
Yeah. Well, and that grand slam he hit was off a lefty in game one, and that's not something Miles Straw is ever going to do. They had Straw bunting, with 2 strikes in the count the other night.
And here's the thing. He better get that down, because that's what he is. He has to do the little things right. He has to take the extra base. He has to get the bunt down. That's his value. Defense and doing little things right. And so I was disappointed in him not getting that bunt down. One, it was a horrible pitch to bunt. It was up in his eyes. And not the kind of pitch you got to take that one anyways. But even earlier in the count, he jabbed at the ball. And that's one, just catch it on your bat and get it down on the ground. And so, I'm okay, late in ninth inning, and you got to lead. Then at that point, maybe you make a move. I don't start doing defense in the 6th inning, because so many things change, and you've got a pitching staff that sometimes can't keep the ball in the ballpark, and so you're going to make a defensive change on a ball that's hit over the head and out of the park. I need that guy that can hit home runs still in my lineup until it's the 9th inning. We're trying to get those final outs. Then I'm okay with making defensive moves.
Ohtani was quiet last night. Struck him out a couple of times. They got lucky with the second K. I think it was a bad call. The ump was not, in my opinion, great last night for either team. But what do you expect out of Ohtani tonight?
Yeah, so I think I think he's going to be locked in. He's a great talent. Any situation that is anything other than him leading off an inning, I'm walking him. I mean, if there's any, I'm going to put him on base. I am not going to, because Mookie Betts doesn't scare me. Now, it'll be interesting to see the Dodger lineup, because Doc Roberts did suggest that he's going to make some changes. I don't know if that means Betts, but give me 100 times over, I'm not going to throw a pitch to Ohtani that I can throw to Betts with Ohtani on first. And so I think that's something to keep an eye on there. And you have to hope that maybe the cramping that Ohtani's gone through limits his ability for stealing bases. He was cramping yesterday pitching. He was cramping the day before. Obviously he's asking his body, and I've said it before, I think it's his body rejecting being a two-way player. I get he wants to, but his body is saying that it's too much. And, we're winding it down. And he was the most protected guy all season long. He came back 1 inning here, 2 innings there. You wonder whether or not he's going to be able to run the way that he's been able to in the past.
It should be a blast tonight. We're guaranteed to be coming back to Toronto for at least Game 6. Enjoy it this evening, Steve. We'll do it again soon.
Fantastic, guys. Look forward to it.
Steve Phillips, our baseball insider. We'll see what happens with the lineup when it comes out, where Springer falls in line. Keegan's there at Dodger Stadium saying, I guess he's out there running, in the outfield. I don't know what that's worth, but he's doing something. He's trying to prepare.
He said straight lines, and then he started to do some curves. Right. If you were Schneider and you had the opportunity to take one player out of LA's lineup tonight, Ohtani, where you have to pitch to him, or Snell.
And then they're going bullpen. It's a bullpen game?
Just whatever. It's a different player than Snell, and it's Ohtani.
I'd probably take Ohtani out. I think
really?
Ohtani. I just feel like Snell, they got him in Game 1. I think, they line up pretty well against him. Yeah, I mean, it just who are you replacing Snell with? I guess if you're telling me they're just going to their bullpen the rest of the game, it would be Snell. Like if it's he's being replaced by Yamamoto.
No, I don't ever want to see that.
Yeah, that Yamamoto was.
He's terrifying.
So if Snell is too, man, he's got to look to him.
Nasty.
He's got these puffy eyes, and he looks pissed off.
He looks like he doesn't.
He
sleep.
is going to be angry tonight, man.
He looks like what's that guy's name? Pete, the guy that was on SNL.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he does have the dark circles under his eyes.
The same vibe as Pete Davidson.
He's just staring aimlessly, like the camera. I mean, those. The pitchers are on the mound. They know the camera's right on them, and it's just in his dead eyes, and he's just. Although they got to him, so
they did. He scares you. He scares you. I understand that. And if you told me it was a bullpen, I'd say Snell all day. Like you go to that bullpen, I'm taking that all day. Because Ohtani, you can pitch around. They did a very good job of it last night. They challenged him a little bit, didn't give him much to hit, and they effectively took him out of the game. But Ohtani still terrifies me. Because the rest of the lineup isn't that scary right now. Like Steve said, Betts has not done much.
I'm worried about Mookie, though, because
he can show up at any point. But
right?
He hasn't had a great season, has not had a great series.
I said it about Freddie Freeman the other day. I'm like, this guy's not doing squat. And then he had a big, massive hit.
Yeah. And a walk-off home run to win
and
Game
a
3.
walk-off homer, man.
I know. The problem is great players eventually, there's a reason why they're great. Eventually they wake up. You got to hope that they sleep. You hope that you get to them where it's it's not their series. That happened. Like Mookie.
I always say it about hockey players too, Jamie. They good teams, they buy each other time. That team in Florida, their third line with Marchand and Lundell, they buy the top line time to get back into a series or whatever with their good play. That's the same as the Dodgers. It's like guys can disappear for a little bit, but they have trust in each other that they're going to show up at the right time. And for the most part, they do.
Yeah.
Mike Johnson, in about 15 minutes, we've got some arbitration we're going to get to today.
Nice.
Yeah, we got some good options on that front. We got best bets still to come as well. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
There must be tons of dudes and groups of people that are on fumes with the Jays run. I'm sure there's people at the beginning of the play, NHL playoffs where guys are like, let's meet for some beers and food, watch the hockey, and it's just a 2-month. There must be Jays fans that are like, let's casually get together and let's keep this going if they win. That just must be on fumes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's been a great run, but you're right. They're late games.
Oh, the 8
Game
o'clock
3
starts.
Threw off your whole mojo.
Well, that was. Did you? I'm sure you guys talked about it yesterday. Did you guys stay up for the whole thing?
I was doing Sports Center live at 3:12 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
Oh, you're an early bird.
Dude,
you must
15
have fell
or
asleep.
16. I cashed in. I text Hayes. I'm like, this guy's. I don't know what inning I said it, but I said Muncie's going to hit this ball to Arizona, and then after that, I fell asleep with Hayes.
I almost gave up.
You and I were snuggling watching a game the other night.
I almost gave up in the 12th, and I was like, no, I'm pot committed. And then you're laying there, and it's the 17th, and I'm sitting there going, I am exhausted. I'm watching this. I couldn't imagine what those guys are going through, the adrenaline and that, and then sleeping that night and then having to do it the next day at 5 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah, it comes at you
was
quickly, man.
It really does.
5 p.m. local because
time,
it's in L.A.
Yeah.
But you're right. I've been lucky enough I've been at all the home games, which have been awesome, and obviously watching them all on the road. And I'm not partying. Like, I haven't had one beer throughout the whole run.
Yeah. But if you're neighborhood guys, we're like, let's gather around the corner at the pub, Boston Pizza, and do the Jays. Like, that's a long run, man. That's
fumes.
a lot of beers and wings.
Yeah.
And
I don't think you have it in you anymore. Like, if you're in your 40s
kidding.
or 50s, you can't run like that anymore.
No.
Dude, there's some warriors, though, man. You know, bar guy, sports guy that can belly up and just last through anything.
Yeah, the Iron Man streak.
There is Iron Man. I know a bunch of them that they will go to bat and war for each other.
Well, and it's every night, man. Like, they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's the nature of baseball. But
like, imagine the guys, Hayes, that got together. I don't know if the bars would have kicked them out for that late game at 3 in the morning or 2:53 or whatever the hell it was. But they looked each other in the eyes and said, be back here for 8 p.m. start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
With a
their
handshake.
wives probably must have wanted to strangle them.
You bring up a great point, though. Like, Monday night clearly is not a big bar and restaurant night.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And it would be dead last probably in the list of the 7 options. And last call here is 2 a.m. And I'm sure that's a scenario where if you're working, if you're a bartender or waiter or waitress or what have you, the way it generally would work in a place like that, especially kind of a mums and pops shop, is the last guy to leave, they turn the lights out. Yeah. Exactly. And if that guy leaves at 8:30, it's like, all right, let's just shut it down. It's Monday.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Imagine you were working and you're like, I can't. They're not going to leave.
Yeah, they're staying all night.
I'm stuck here until 3 in the morning on Monday because the Jays and Dodgers will not stop playing. That's tough. And they were having a watch party at the Dome. How the hell did everyone get home at 3 in the morning?
True.
GO trains are done. You could get TTC, but if you live in Mississauga or Oshawa or something, what are you going to do?
Right in if you're a warrior with your buddies and you just are on gas and you're just going to keep the train rolling. We want to hear from you.
We want to hear from you. We want to hear if you've done the Dome for all 3 watch parties.
Yeah.
That's a commitment. You're leaving your house, leaving your neighborhood.
But, Hayes, even if you're just if you're meeting for beers for a baseball game,
period.
You're gooned because it's 4 hours long.
That's right.
Exactly.
Pre-game, post-game, you got to talk about what happened.
Yes, break it
Huge
down.
Opportunity for a big, big night tonight. All right, hour 2 coming up. Arbitration and Mike Johnson. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. A little arbitration later this hour. We've got the Jays, Game 5, World Series tonight. Leafs back in action in Columbus this evening. Cade Primo is going to get the start. Will Stolar's back up. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that would indicate he won't. I think he'll probably back up tonight.
I think he'll be fine to back up tonight.
I think he can do it. I think he'll be backing up tonight.
Iced up the knees, and he's all good to go.
Unless you're carrying 3 on the roster, there's no reason for the starter not to wear a ball cap and back up. Like, there's 3. I think the future is having 3 on the roster, and 1 doesn't count against the cap because every team uses 3 goaltenders at least in a season for the most part. So I don't know why, the starter can't sit there and support the backup.
I'm sure he will. I'm joking a little bit. We did just see it over the weekend. Hildeby came up, threw a cap on, and supported the team. And we'll see what the Leafs and the Jays have in store tonight. It's all about Toronto sports. All about Toronto sports this evening. And Mike Johnson coming up here in a few moments. And got arbitration later in the hour. Best bet still to come. It's going to be a fun one. Still no word on the Jays lineup. I guess they're waiting on Springer. Like it sounds like Springer he hit the cage earlier today. He's going to try it again. You know, they're waiting on him to give them the call, what his plan is. It's a big gamble if he plays. But could it be a Kirk Gibson type thing? Like if he plays and he's
out
50%,
there,
but he couple of big hits tonight? Like what a rallying cry if you see Springer get back in the lineup tonight.
Well, Keegan wrote and said George Springer swung the bat earlier, and Schneider says that was good. And after running, he'll try to hit off the machine before the Jays lineup is finalized. So who knows, man? What is swinging at a ball and it's good mean? Like it's just like Bo when he was jogging to first. It was like, never know. Mm-hmm. It's like, how good could that possibly be? It would be massive, though, if that guy was good to go somehow.
Oh, the adrenaline. The thing is it something we don't know? Is it something that a couple days that's flared up that a couple days could take the edge off and you could be good to go for game 6 and 7 type of thing? Or do you just go for it and go game 5 and you've blown it out and you're going to be sore and you shoot it up, or you take Toradol, you do whatever it takes to get through and mask the pain to try and win a World Series? That's really what's going to be going on.
Exactly. Like all hands on deck, right?
Right.
Like, yes, it may be a struggling offseason for you and you're in a lot of pain and easier said than done, but, what are you waiting for? That's what we're going to seek. If it, it's going at least 6. If it goes to 7, everyone's available. Short rest, no sleep, doesn't matter. Like if you could help the team get 1 out, 1 hit, 1 defensive play, whatever, and get closer to a World Series, and you're going to pay for it, so be it. Right. You put everything on the line.
Yeah, didn't Bo
and I'm
come
sure
out
that's
and
what
say,
Springer's thinking right now.
Didn't Bo come out and say, I'll put it all on the line, like I'd risk it all for the World Series?
Yeah.
And on top of that, didn't Vladdy say he's dealing with something too?
He was laboring a bit last night. Like they were trying to figure it out on the telecast. I couldn't see what it was. He kind of jogged into home plate, but it was a breeze for him. He didn't have to sprint, but he looked like he was limping a little bit. But I'd be surprised if everyone's not fighting something right now. These guys are playing a ton of baseball after a long, long season. Lots of travel, not a ton of rest, a lot of media obligations. You got your family and friends everywhere you go now, right? Like there's no just going back to the hotel for a quick sleep. Like it's family lunches, family dinners. Everyone's along for the ride. There's no escape.
You dust those floaters off, though. Like, I think these guys are going back to the hotel and eating and stuff like that. You're not, walking down Santa Monica Pier because your grandfather's in town and he's never been there in 40 years. You're like, got to go sightseeing. Like, they're like, we'll see you after the game. We'll get you tickets. And probably the team services guys going, yeah, I'll take care of the families. And, like, these guys, if you're so close to the end. You're dialed in. You're not, going for lunches in Hollywood Hills.
Lunches is maybe extreme, but post game, if your kids are there, we all have kids. You think it's like, hey, get them out of here. I got to do. No chance, man. Like you're doing the get-togethers. Where are we going?
I know, dude, but you'd be shocked at what people do. I played in the Stanley Cup Finals, and people were jumping out of trees on me driving into the car saying, "Are you getting me tickets tonight?" Yeah. Crazy stuff. I was talking to Mario Lemieux in warm-up one night, and the team services guy called me over and said, Gary Roberts' neighbor said you were getting him tickets tonight. And I was beside myself. His neighbor.
Why couldn't Gary get his neighbor?
I don't know. I guess we were at a dinner party or something, and there was some kind of conversation. And I was talking to 66th, the magnificent one, and he calls me over and says, so-and-so wants his tickets. You said Gary Roberts' neighbor, where are the tickets? And I just had to skate away. I said, I can't do this.
That's tough. That's tough. Well, that's savvy play by Robs too, right? He's like, I'm not dealing with it. Yeah. Like, don't come talk to me.
No, he had nothing to do with it. It was a conversation I had with this guy.
It's his neighbor.
Call O-Dog. He'll pay for them.
Yeah, get O'Neill to figure it out.
That's what you do. To get rid of them, you go, what do you need? COD. Give me your credit card.
Yep,
Give it
credit card.
Oh,
cash,
I thought you got free ones on the road. No, we get to pay $400
Not for the World Series.
On the World Series, those tickets, the World Series tickets will be a fortune, even for the players buying them for the family. It'll be a fortune.
Costs a fortune. Dodger Stadium. Wait till Game 6, man. It's going to be crazy in Toronto, the prices.
Yeah.
All right, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline, here's our TSN hockey analyst, Mike Johnson. What's happening, Johnny?
What's going on, fellas? I think Noodles is right. You lose all the flies once you're like, okay, give me your credit card number. I'll put them on COD for you.
Oh, yeah.
Then no one's calling you. No one's like, oh, it's okay. I don't need to see it that bad. As long as they're not free.
That ends it quickly, huh?
That's it. That's it. And I never played in the Stanley Cup final, unfortunately. I think I would punt my kids. Like, I think my kids would be in a different hotel room than me. If they were, I don't think I'd be like hanging out with my kids after the game. I'd say hi to them. But then I'd be like, okay, you guys got to go because I gotta go do some things. I'll see you in a week.
That's reasonable. Yeah. Listen, I hear you. Yeah. That's reasonable, and I'm sure there's a lot of guys that are. And then there's other guys that are like, they're in my room. Bad night last night.
No way.
Oh yeah,
no chance.
There was an example of that recently. Who was it? It was J.J. Spawn at the U.S. Open. J.J. Spawn ended up winning the U.S. Open. Remember the night before, on the Saturday night, his wife sent them out to like Walgreens at 3 a.m. because their kid was sick. And they had 2 kids, and they had a newborn, and the mom's like, well, I can't leave, so you got to get up, go to Walgreens, figure this out at 3 a.m. On the eve of the Sunday U.S. Open at Oakmont.
Well, guess what happens after he won the U.S. Open? There's a nanny going.
I was just going to say, he made enough money to pay for somebody to go do that.
Yes.
It also works on the positive, too. My run to the Cup final, first couple series, my buddy and his wife from Georgia came up to the first 2 series, and they just I asked them to keep coming back, and they kept driving back and forth. And in the finals, Game 1, my best buddy Liler and his wife came to Game 1. We won it, and they drove back to Guelph, and I said, you guys want to come back for Game 2? And they did. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I guess cool. Distractions, and who knows? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. And baseball's a different game. It's a different sport. It's a different vibe. But as for the Leafs, what did you make of it up close and personal last night?
That was, Calgary's obviously not gotten off to a good start. They're not a great team, but they're still competitive. They had 96 points last year. That was about as well as I've seen Toronto play this year. The power play needs work for sure, but just as far as, they were faster. If they want to be this sort of dump and chase team and cycle team, they were way better at getting to the pucks and stopping it and turning it over in the forecheck and putting almost 40 shots up on the goalie. That was a pretty good game for them. Not without, it wasn't perfect. There's lots of stuff to clean up, but as far as just sort of the energy and pace required to be effective in the NHL, today's NHL, that was way closer to something that game would win frequently. And I haven't seen a lot of that this year, so I thought, generally speaking, a pretty positive game.
Johnny, are we kind of past the point of waiting for things to clean up, or do you know what it would look like if it was cleaned up, or can it be, or is this just what they're going to bring to the table? Because I can't remember. I know in years past there's been difficult starts and they got it back on track, and you had a sense of what it was going to look like. I'm not sure what that is this year.
Yeah, you're right. You're not exactly sure what that good game exactly looks like, but I think it looks something more like last night. But cleaning up, to me, would be just being better, sort of decision-making. Don't give up as many rush chances. Don't get caught in so much. I think a big part of that is Tanev being hurt doesn't help, of course. But even before he was injured, Tanev and McCabe, who were, by all accounts, numerically and otherwise, one of the best defensive duos last year, were not good this year together. I don't know what that would be. So those guys get their game together and become the standard, really great defensive pair that they can be, then I think that goes a long way into cleaning up, as you phrased it, a lot of the other stuff that has not been where they want it this year. But I think it's something like last night's game, though. I really do. Austin had, 5, 8, 9 shots, whatever it was. They drew some power plays. They got some scoring from different guys. They played in the offensive end a lot. I think that's what they want. But Noodles, I know Stolar's put a microscope on himself, but I don't know what you thought of the goals, the Farabee goals that I didn't love, and even the Hanzik goal was a surprise, but I didn't love either one of them. The Farabee one especially, you just got to save that, don't you?
You do, and you're right. He put a spotlight on himself. The difference is he has been pressed into, last year, Wool, for the most part, was there, right? So, if you had a rough start, maybe you got a week to reset or to get your game in order or to prepare for the next start. Here, you're playing a lot. You're playing. Tonight, obviously not because it's back-to-back, but, you don't get that time, and there's not a lot of practice time early in the season to reset your game or to get it. It's just you've got to get into a groove, and his groove has just been okay. He is the Randy Carlyle right now, okay, just okay. Like, he's made some good saves. I don't lay some of the losses at his feet, but there is one or two goals that have go in, whether it's every game or recently every game, that he probably made those saves last year. And, again, 34 games last year spread out for a full season. He's on pace to play, 68, 70? He's not going to. Joseph Woll's going to come back. But even if he gets something with a 5 in it, you're going to see his game. It's not going to be a .927 save percentage. It might be more league average, which, in turn makes him look more human nightly. That's the thing. That's the difference, is there has been a drop-off in his play, but it's because he's playing a lot more. And the team's got to, pick up that slack, and they did last night. They got the game winner for him, so you move on. But you're right. There's been a couple goals that he would for sure want back or should have made those saves.
Yeah, and he said as much himself, but it's surprising. And the fact that he took Saturday's game off, and I guess they had the luxury to do that because of the cap space, but they brought up another goalie so he didn't have to back up. And he's going for a physical rest and mental rest, and we are 3 weeks in the season, and speaks volumes about what you're talking about, Noodles, about him, dealing with what the grind's like when you're playing as much as he is. Now, you're right, he's playing too much, and he won't play this much the whole rest of the way, but I guess I'm almost like alarm bells go off a little bit, like, hang on, we're 3 weeks in, and you need a mental rest day. I'm not making light of the grind he's on, but that's, you'd like to think he would be fresher than that when we're not even out of October.
Yes.
Johnny, two-part question. 10 games in, what do you notice the biggest difference with Marner gone? Like, where's the biggest area where he's missed? And what's your assessment of the new bodies that have come in?
The biggest area they've missed, Mitch, I think, is in zone entries, like puck transportation and puck possession. He was really good at taking the puck, skating into the neutral zone, getting inside the offensive zone, being creative, making plays, buying time and space, and allowing the team to play more in the offensive zone. So whether that's 5-on-5 or when they're on the power play, I think both things hold true. That's been the biggest thing for me. It's not on the penalty kill. It's not necessarily the passing. It's his ability to get the team in a spot where they can go to work offensively. And it's harder to do that now. So that's his miss. As far as the new guys, I think Nick was slowly growing into his role, trying to figure it out. Third-line guy, try to be reliable. I still think he's got a little bit more offense. But, again, he's got to be in the offensive zone to play that way. Dakota Joshua, I thought he really struggled early, maybe finding the pace in his game. He felt like he's huge, but he was always maybe a half step behind. He's been better as of late, too. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's confidence. He's been okay, better lately. And Michelli, he shows little flashes, though, right? Like, he makes 3 really good plays a game, like the plays that result in good chances. You don't see him a whole lot otherwise, but he makes a few of those really quick read passing plays. I sort of give the whole group of them. I don't know if A would be above expectations, B would be really good, C is sort of just, what you probably thought you might get. They're sort of like in the C+ category. They're giving you what you think they are, but they haven't really been huge difference makers just yet.
So, Johnny, what are you seeing, if you apply that logic, what are you seeing in Austin Matthews? His overall game and where you think it can get to. We were talking about last hour. I think there's another layer there, another level there. But whether it's the Marner effect, the line mates, all of that, or, what do you think his game can get to? Or what does it look like when he's at the top of his game, in your opinion, up close?
In this system, with this personnel, it won't look like what it looked like when he scored 69. I just don't think he's going to have the puck that much. But I still think, certainly on the power play, I'd like to see him be able to be more impactful. The ability to sort of take it and just make it work. as opposed to, he's one of 5 pieces. He hasn't sort of kind of quarterbacked it and had it run through him and just made it like Kaprizov might, or, I'm going to make it work because I'm going to make it work. At 5-on-5, Noodles, I think he's going to be, really good defensively, which he is. He's going to play in his own end because he has to. And I think, 40, he's going to be around 50 goals and around 90 points. But the key to me, Noodles, more than anything, is he's got to win his 5-on-5 minutes. He has to win them. He always has. He's never not won his 5-on-5 minutes at any point in his career. And he's, barely treading water now, even Steven, when he's out there, not in the goal count, but in sort of the possession, the expected, and all the rest of it. And that's where I think he's got to get better. Even if he doesn't score as much, when he's on the ice, they can't be in their own end so much. He can't play. He's too good to be playing down there all the time. And that's where I think when he gets playing at his very best and sort of everything works together, then he'll be in the offensive end more, and then the numbers will come.
Yeah, it is kind of difficult to figure out. Like, is it that he's just, last year he was injured, this year different line mates. Is it him? Is it his surroundings? Is it Berube? Because he's still only 28. Like, he's had injuries, but he's only 28. You got to believe he's going to play another 10, 12 years in the league. And I don't think he's looked that close to breaking out to me. I mean, I get it. We do this all the time, like shot attempts, and hey, he had a bunch of shots, and hey, he hit the post last night. Like, for him, he's got to break out. He's got to do it because that can change the whole complexion of things too. Like Matthews just turns into a top 5 player in the world. It changes everything. Like, and I said that 15, 20 times last year, even when they were winning. And you're like, it just feels different. I'm like, because of that guy. Because when he's the best goal scorer, the most dominant player, you can't take your eyes off the guy on the ice.
It was the same for all of them. McKinnon.
Exactly. McDavid, everything. If the best player who is a superstar is dominating, you're like, look how good this team is. Look at that guy. Yeah. And, like, that is what can flip quickly for me. 5-4-1, pick up some wins. If this guy gets cooking and starts scoring at the rate he can, all of a sudden you're not looking at who's on the wing on the 4th line. Like, oh, is Philippe Myers playing tonight? Who cares? The big dog is chugging. So it's all good. And I still think that's a possibility. But, with the line mates, with Berube, with the system, and I think that's a really good point. He's bought into it. He has to as the captain, right? He's got to.
Yeah.
He's not going to cheat. He can't. And to his credit, he's not. But I don't know. Because it's the easiest thing for me. Goaltending and your superstar, 1A guy, just going on a heater in terms of the focal point.
The only difference would be, though, for Hayes, is like, think about him even when he was at his best. Was he a guy that you sort of envisioned skating with the puck a lot?
No.
Like he was more a guy that, like, he'd give and go, and then once he got in the offensive end, he was like impossible to get it off of. And he needed the puck on a stick for a millisecond, and then he had a shot that had a really good chance of going past the goaltender. He's not a transporter. He's just not a guy who skates it up as easily. And that's why I think when he plays with Nylander, it is so much better for him. Because, Matthew Knies is a bull for sure, but he's not quite as skilled as Nylander. When Nylander goes there, it gives him all that freedom to let Nylander get in the offensive zone and drag another, possess it, let Wasson do his thing and get it up the ice. So, yeah, you're exactly right, Hayes. I just don't know without someone on his line to help get the puck, in the offensive zone. I don't know if you're going to see sort of dominant performances.
So Montreal won again last night, and O was, proposing this question earlier. Like, if the Atlantic Division is, go ahead. It's your question.
I want to make sure. No, I want to make sure you say it properly. Go ahead, Hayes.
No, you go ahead. It's your thing. I was setting you up.
It wasn't my thing. It was just we're a sports radio show. Like, it was. All right, Johnny. Here it is. We were talking about the Atlantic and how it's bungled up, and everyone seems to have their ups and downs. Montreal kind of looks good, and Tampa doesn't look good, although they played better lately. If you could fast forward to January 1st in the Atlantic and you could predict a couple of separators like Tampa and Florida and maybe Toronto have done in the past, in the Atlantic, who would they be?
Separator, I think
Like, get out of the muck. Get out of the muck and kind
I
of
think it's
set.
Montreal. I know I think it's Montreal. And the reason I say that, though, is I think they score.
Yeah.
Which is why I would have said Tampa, because they can score. But without Nick Paul there and Hagel's gone off to a slow start, their first line scores, but not much behind them. And Florida is going to grind, and I think the injuries are an issue for them, and they're going to grind for the next few months and be competitive. And I don't think Toronto is going to take off on a great, 12-2 run or something. I don't see Detroit doing it, Buffalo, Boston, even Ottawa. They're pretty good too. But I think it's Montreal because they have offense throughout their lineup, and they're really good in close games. They're really good in overtime where they can pick up extra points. I don't know if they're going to do it, but if I had to say one team that could, I think it'd be Montreal.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fascinating if they ended up comfortably winning the division. Like how quickly that happened. This time last year, they were bottom 2 or 3 team in the league. They had a horrible start.
Terrible start.
Terrible.
Awful in October.
Awful last year. And now a year later, it's a reasonable projection, with the way Caulfield's playing. Suzuki's been great. Deminov's been really good. Hudson has doubled down. Dobson's fit in well. They keep winning, man. They're an explosive team.
They're a fast team too. They've got skill. They've got a little bit of everything. My whole thing, Johnny, is I think at some point there might be a market correction with them. Like everything is just, it's almost too perfect. You know what I mean? Like it's they've had the when good teams have good luck, they go on these massive runs, and that's why I'm calling them a good team. Like they don't get me wrong, but are they this good, or is there going to be some correction, shooting percentage, all of that type of stuff, puck luck? They almost gave it away last night. They were up 3-0 comfortably, and then it's they find a way to win in overtime, like that type of stuff. When that switches to the other side, some bad luck, like that's where I want to see how they can dig themselves out very quickly. And are they having some injury piled-ups? That's the other thing too. Line coming out, it seems fine. They're fine because they've got enough depth there, but that's. You never know how things unfold. I still want to give them another 10 games before I weigh in on that.
Both of these guys, Johnny, both of these guys want to give them everyone another
10 games into the season.
I'd say the same thing about Detroit.
No, I know. Well, let me ask you this, Johnny. I think Pierre had a piece where he was talking about there's new blood in the NHL. Who do you think of the old blood is cooked, where they're you're not good anymore? You're fooling yourself if you think you're still good, Johnny.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to run through them in my mind real quick.
Who would you tap on the shoulder and say, just for your information, you guys, your fun is over. You might start wanting to do something different.
Oh, boy. I would say, I can't say Boston because they were terrible last year, but, Boston would be the one team that
Rangers, the same thing. Weren't good
Rangers weren't good last year, but they might be falling in that category. The one that, it's not that they're not good, but last year they were elite. I don't think LA is going to do it again this year. LA last year was really good. They were the best defensive teams in the league. They were a Quentin Byfield chip out of winning the first round against Edmonton, and then who knows where they go. Kopitar's hurt. They are older. I don't love the moves they made this summer, bringing in some older guys. That might be a team where, slower, older. I don't know if their window to be really competitive in the playoffs and go, 2-3 rounds, that might be one that I would prematurely say I don't see it this year.
Okay. It's a good question.
Well, last one for Johnny.
Hazy, you got to have one. You got to have a team, Hazy.
Or you could say Toronto. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's not bury the lead here. Right?
Yeah, the Leafs have got to prove that they're not over the hill. Even though they haven't won anything. They've gotten older. They've gotten slower. They don't look as dynamic. Now, I think we've seen enough of this team that I believe that they have the ability to pull out of what they've shown. But what they've shown through 10 games is not sort of elite level stuff. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, I would say the same applies to Florida and Tampa, though. And are you going to say that about them?
Well, Florida is injury related, right? So, if you give me Barkov and Kachuk back in the lineup, maybe I'll need to see. Right, I don't see huge injuries. Joseph Woll, I suppose, but Injuries haven't been the story. And Tampa would be part of the conversation too. Tampa would be kind of similar to Toronto. What they've shown early just hasn't been good enough. Although I kind of believe that the star offensive players in Tampa, I could guarantee their production more than the star offense. Like, I know Kucherov and Point and Gensel are going to get a bunch. And, with the way is Matthews going to get 90, 100 points? I don't know if he will. For sure.
Where does Edmonton fall on this list?
Yeah, Edmonton is the thing is about Edmonton, though, is that they're largely driven by those two guys. I still buy those two guys. That hasn't changed. Like, I understand they have holes, but they had holes last year. And when it comes down to it, those two guys are so great that that they can make it happen. But yeah,
getting Hyman back in a week too. That
probably about a week.
Hyman back. And
massive help.
That'll be part of it. Huge addition.
I know we got to go, Johnny, but where are you at with Pittsburgh? That's the biggest question for me. And I know it's kind of an outlier, but
let me add this before you answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm all in on Pitt, Johnny.
All in on them being really good?
Yeah, I love them.
Playoff team type of thing?
Playoffs,
Jim Moore.
Johnny, are you playoffs for Pitt? Hashtag?
I want to be. I think everyone would want to be. I can't see Evgeny Malkin being this good. I can't see Justin Brazeau scoring 50. Like, they got some stuff happening there that I cannot see continuing. Sid, yes. Malkin going for 130, I don't think so. So I think there's some evening out of the way things have gone so far. But I will give them credit. They are way more organized and way more attentive to defense than they have it in years past, and that's helped them get off to a good start. But I'd love it, but I can't buy it just yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's very reasonable.
That's where Hayes was at. He bet him $500.
Yeah. I think the wheels. Yeah, always got them making the playoffs.
Playoffs?
And making noise.
Making noise.
I didn't say making noise, you moron.
Hayes is adding that.
I just think it's a great story. We've just been burying them because they've been so bad for 3 years. It's like we've been praying for Sid to either get traded, and now they're good, so I'm embracing it.
You're right. It's a great story. Utah's a great story. Logan Cooley's got paid, right? Cooley making $10 million a year, I believe it is.
That kid's a good player, man.
Really good start, really good player. Seattle's been, a good story early on.
Mm-hmm.
Bedard and Chicago are not a disaster. Like, Chicago's not a disaster.
They're
That's
young,
a story.
That's nice, though. That's nice for Bedard. Like,
totally.
Guys, people wrote him off hard last year. Like, he was like a terrible player. He had some warts. He had some improvements to make. But he had 67 points on an awful team with nobody around him. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to see him doing well, like reminding people, again, he's not perfect, but he's still really, really good. I'm glad he's showing it.
Yeah, his shot is so lethal, man.
Well,
he is
so gross.
You know what? It was cool to see. Like, you forget, like, Nathan McKinnon, it took him a year or two to settle into the league, right? I'm not comparing Bedard to McKinnon. What I'm saying is not every superstar hits the ground, like, just running. That's it. Like, there's still an adjustment period. What I've seen in that player, and I saw him live yesterday, like, he's special. Oh, you've loved him for many years. He just hasn't arrived. I think he's arrived. Mm-hmm. He's a really good player, a special player. And now they've got better players around him. They're a young team, young defensive core. They got a goalie there who's pretty good. But I don't think they're a playoff team, but I think they're fast and they're really coached well. That Blashill's a good coach. Like, he's known as a good coach.
Credit where it's due, man. Chicago's off to a good start. Like, full credit to them. All right, Johnny. We'll leave it there. Enjoy the games tonight.
All right, hey, I love the bow tie the other day. Now, I want to know, was it a clip-on? And did you have to go buy a bow tie? Because did you actually own one?
I do own one that's like an official one. That was not the one I was using. This one, it was like a dollar store wrap around the head. It wasn't even a clip-on.
Dude,
clip-on would have been
elastic.
Velcro.
Yeah.
No balls open for not having it on today.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not wearing it every day. I wore it the one time.
Well, did they lose? Did the Jays lose?
They lost on. And I was getting blamed. They lost in 18 innings, and it's like, wow, you wore the bow tie as if there was any connection to what the Jays were doing in L.A. and my bow tie. But I wore it. I'm a man of my word. I said I would, and I did. All right, Johnny. Thanks, buddy.
All right, fellas. Enjoy the games and chat soon.
Yep. Mike Johnson joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Get in and go where adventure takes you in a new 2025 Tacoma from Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland in the Maple Auto Mall. Visit mapletoyota.com. Arbitration next.
Tonight on TSN 1050, your Toronto Maple Leafs hit the road to take on the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Matthew scores!
Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The Leafs live here. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Now, is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem for them. It's outrageous, egregious, preposterous.
Overdrive. Arbitration.
I've been wanting a piece of them for years.
You think we got a case?
Your case is my case.
All right, arbitration. Haven't played this in a while.
I know.
All right, I like it. We got a bunch here, so we got to get rocking here. Best bet still to come. Maple Leafs step into the arbitration room, and they are offered this second wild card spot. Do they take it?
God, you're damn right they take it.
Yeah.
I'm saying yes, they take it. You just never know what the hell's going to go on. We talked about the division, how there's some new blood, some new meat, kind of
Here's
doing
I agree 100%.
Got to take it, man.
I agree 100%. Here's why. They're not a team that really relies on home or away in the playoffs from what we've seen. And I think they're a veteran team. It really doesn't care. They got to make the playoffs. And then that's when you can get onto a roll and establish your game. It's
How
about
for
making
this simple
the dance.
reason, guys, because none of us, including Johnny, declared them as going to be one of the separators moving forward. Mm-hmm. So take it.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. I think you bring up a good point, Noodles. Like maybe just start on the road. You know,
Well,
just
look at-
get away from Toronto.
Look at Florida
silly
last
as that
year.
sounds.
Florida last year, and again, they've been to the Cup final a couple of times, won, all of that type of stuff. Tired, and just, hey, wake us up in the playoffs type of thing. They didn't care if it was home ice, road, whatever, where they're where they were placed in the standings.
But
I
Jamie,
think
those
this is
guys
a
are
different-
built to understand, to have that in the back of their mind, but also do the job at hand to get into the playoffs.
I agree. But what I'm saying is what we just laid out from the previous conversation about how tight the Atlantic is. Now, we might have a different conversation 15 games from now if they win 10 of them and they're high up in the standings. But I don't think it really matters. I think it's about making it to the dance. And from what I've experienced in the last couple of years, home and away really doesn't matter to them. It's more about, can you get past a round into a second round, try and get into a third round. That's something that, but you got to give yourself a chance. So I would sign off on it, just the fact that you're in the playoffs, and then go have at it.
Now
way.
you're
That's
playing
my
a top
mindset.
seed. What comes with that is you're playing a top seed.
That is a great point, man.
So, I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe it's Carolina. But if it's Jersey or Montreal, you're probably okay with that. You're probably okay with playing them in the playoffs. Doesn't guarantee you'd win it, but you're not playing, prime Florida, prime Tampa, or anything like that. All right, the New England Patriots step into arbitration. They're offered the last wild card spot in the AFC. Do they take it, or do they leave it and play it out? Currently leading the AFC East and look great.
Dude, they got to leave that, don't they?
I don't know.
Might
I'm
leave
taking it personally. I'm taking it. I'm
just
not
based
risking
on where
that
expectations,
yes,
right, Brian?
they haven't been in the playoffs for a few years. It's been kind of a disaster. Drake Bay's a kid. You want playoff experience. I'm not gambling that the wheels don't fall off or Buffalo doesn't beat you anyway, even if you leave it. Then you're a wild card game. Your Buffalo could still win the division. Then you're a wild card team. This guarantees it. Week 8 or 9 in the season. We're still in October. If I'm Mike Vrabel with a young quarterback, young team, still fighting it out with Buffalo for the division, I'm taking anything I can.
That's what all the new winning and all the it's all about the new guys, the young guys. It's like that's what you got to do. You got to go for it, man, and try to strike.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's the best time to do it. You got the young QB where nobody knows anything and you're just good.
And he's cheap. Yeah, and he's cheap.
Well, yeah. And instead of
cheap.
everyone saying, "Oh, just everyone hold your horses," like you got to try to do it while you're good, man. You wait around and then everybody gets paid and the team's not the same. I say you go for it.
Right.
Let it fly. Leave it all on the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Austin Matthews steps into arbitration. He's offered 40 goals this season. 40 on the nose. He's sitting at 5 right now through 10 games.
I'm going to take it. I'm going to take a 40-goal season. 40 goals in the National Hockey League, although it's Austin Matthews who scored 69. I'm going to take a 40-goal season because I don't know who the hell's going to pass on the puck the rest of the way. Maybe it's Willie. I don't know. But
I'm leaving it because there's an opportunity for him to get on a heater. I've always said this, and I believe it wholeheartedly. The team that we're watching right now is not going to be the team down the stretch. I believe Tree is an active manager. I think there are going to be changes on every team.
But Jamie, how are you going to make guys go out the door? Like all the
listen, that's not my pay right
I get
now.
it. But
what I'm saying is I believe there will be change. And what does it matter if he gets 36 or if he gets 51? The goal, you said this to me, and I do believe in this, Brian. At these guys' age, McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews, all these guys who are hunting the big one, I don't know if they really care. I think they care personally that, hey, I want 50 goals or I want this and that. But it's more about trying to win and take another step. I don't think Austin would be like, okay, just give me 40 for the sake of 40. I think he's got an opportunity to still try and get 50 or more. I would take that just based on knowing that player.
40 is an improvement on last year, right? He had 33. 40 would make you presume he's healthy.
Yeah, and he didn't play all the games last year. You're right. So
yes.
I would want health and over 40. I leave it, though. I'm leaving it.
Yeah, there's a part of me. I would leave it, too, just because I want to see him. I want to see him get back to being the best goal scorer in the world. And 40 goals means he's not. He still has the capability, but that would be 2 years in a row where, the goals have stepped back. And I
so why are you not confident McDavid's not going to return to that form, but you're confident Matthews is?
I'm not confident that Matthews is. I'm saying I'm willing to test it out. Like, let me offer you – okay, Connor McDavid's offered 95 points right now. He steps into arbitration. Do you take it? 95 is an unreal season.
I think he would take it right now.
No.
Okay.
He's going to get 100 – you don't think he's going to get 100 points this year?
What's the difference between 95 and 102? You just said
7.
it doesn't matter to these guys.
But
7
you're right.
is the difference.
But I do – but I believe – there are certain markers they set for themselves as opposed to like Connor has had 100 points every year he's been healthy. I think that's something he would take pride in getting to, regardless.
He had one of those
where
games last night where it's like, this guy's going to go on a heater now. He knows Hyman's coming back. He's just going to start
Hyman, though,
him.
man, it's scary. Like that wrist, dude. He had screws put in, and he's I don't know. Like he's not a young guy. He missed camp, missed the start of the year.
Well, I don't. But I think with Hyman is. His game isn't about skill; it's about work.
Right.
And
sure.
To me, I don't think it takes. Yes, he's going to take a few games to get up to speed but his physicality, his work ethic, his turning pucks over, that's what that team needs consistently. When you look at it, I kind of had my eye on. I was calling my game, but I had my eye on their game. This Stuart Skinner was trying to give it back last night. Did you see the third goal against? He was behind the net, just handed it away.
Yeah.
I was like, he's trying to give it back to them, and McDavid and them were like, no, we're going to take this game.
He's a fascinating guy to watch.
It's outrageous, man. This is probably the goal. This is the goal.
There he is.
There it is.
I'll just go, whoops, daisy.
Hey, listen, I've been in that world. It's the worst feeling in the world where you are dead in the water behind the net. But they had just tied the game to make it 2-2. And then they give that goal up to make it 3-2. And I guarantee you, you could speak to it. Brian, you're sitting on the bench watching that go in, and you're like, what is this guy doing back there?
This guy is killing us right now.
Yeah,
he's killing us.
But then he made some
because we would have given him the Artie Urbe rule. Archer's Urbe is like, don't go out of the net and touch the puck, man, because when you do, you got no tape on your stick, and it's straight, and it's a joke.
Yeah, it was just a tough bounce, but still, you're trying to establish yourself and get that consistency, and that just wasn't a good goal to give up. Anyways, but
yeah,
we got sidetracked.
Anyways, all right, let me throw one at you here, Blue Jay related, going off the board here. All right, the Jays roll into arbitration. They are offered 15 outs from Trey Savage tonight. That would be 5 innings, complete 5 innings, 15 outs tonight from Trey Savage. Take it or leave it?
Dude, 100 million% take it.
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah.
There's no.
So
there's
what's
no
the
other
number?
way to-
What's the bottoming out where you say I can't? I got to ride it out and hope he does better than that. Is it 4 innings? Is it 12 outs? Like that again. It's like 3 nights in a row. Varland pitched last night. Fluharty pitched last night. Bassett, I can't imagine would be available tonight. He just pitched back-to-back games.
Don't you think if they have a sniff against Snell, he's got to give him 5 innings?
Yeah,
I would
think so.
I would think so. Like, yeah. I mean, I kind of expect Snell to be. I expect him to be better than he was his first start, and he wasn't
Way
awful.
better.
It's not like Snell was terrible. It just he didn't have great command. Roberts broke it down after the game. He wasn't ecstatic with his performance. I think Snell will probably bounce back tonight. So yeah, I mean, it's just like we talked about yesterday with Bieber and Ohtani. Like, you got a match. You know, the starter for starter, you kind of got a match. It's been a chess game this whole series. Yeah. And, you know, I'm very curious what he's got, you know, as a young guy. His second start in the World Series. It's incredible. Drafted 18 months ago. Guy's about to start his second World Series game at Dodger Stadium, and Ohtani's coming up first again tonight.
Dude started at single A.
Yes. Like low A, and just made his way up and up and up. But it does feel like you Savages got to have a night.
He
tonight.
does.
Like, got to have a night tonight. It's Game 5 of the World Series. You know, you got to. Got to have a night.
And you have to think that the Dodgers bats at some point outside of Ohtani might come alive too, right?
Yes.
Like I think maybe Mookie Betts just sleeps the whole time. But
that would be great.
I'm concerned about that guy. Like that.
You should be. He's a beast. Freddie Freeman's a beast. Will Smith, Max Muncy, you know, all these guys. Teoscar.
Well, the one guy who is a guaranteed out is not playing, I think, tonight for the Dodgers. That Pages or whatever.
Yeah, Pages.
That guy should have just taken his jersey and hung it up there, like before the series started.
It is great when you have an auto out. There were a couple guys on Seattle auto outs.
Yeah,
like they're
like
7, 8, 9 guys.
Autos.
Autos.
Even the announcers are trying to find something positive. Like, oh, he's 1 for 85, but boy, he's good in the outfield. You're like, oh my God, like.
Well, that's always what it is, right? A guy that can't hit, you know, he's Gold Glove, can fly in the bases, great in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Because if you're hitting, 113 in the playoffs, you better be bringing something else to the table.
Yeah.
All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel coming up. Leafs, Jays, Raptors, all in action tonight. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
TSN 1050. The Raptors live here. Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, today's Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Lots of positive storylines for the Toronto sports teams tonight. Jays on the run line, so keep it within 1 tonight. I think it's a close game. I think they can win tonight. I think they win tonight. I've hit a point where I think they're going to win the World Series. I've been so impressed with the way they've been playing. Ooh. And, I feel like they're in the driver's seat, as some might say.
Ooh.
Jays run line tonight. Taking the points, Raptors at home. They've been terrible the last couple of games. Terrible. And Houston's so good. But you get plus 5.5. I think Darko gets on them. And I think they defend better tonight. Keep it close. Leafs money line in Columbus. Parlay paying plus 613. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays now available on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 19 plus. Physically located in Ontario.
Stinky old Darko was fired up after that first win, wasn't he?
Yeah,
running around the locker room.
Yeah. I don't think he was doing that in Dallas or in San Antonio. I'm pretty sure he wasn't.
Sir.
Or against Milwaukee. I don't think so. But big one for all Toronto sports teams tonight. Clearly the biggest one is in L.A., needless to say. Game 5 of the World Series. And we'll have a full breakdown tomorrow. But either way, they're coming back to town. Game 6 Friday night. Halloween down at the Dome.
Wow.
What a night.
How's that working out for you?
We'll get into that tomorrow. I'll ask you guys for some advice on how we're going to handle it this weekend.
It's going to be a Dear Hazy B.
That is. Dear Hazy B. From Hazy B. That's precisely what's going to happen. We'll get to that tomorrow. All right, boys. Good stuff. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live. Every hour of every show. Up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
You can sleep on my couch on Friday night, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.